These right here are a game changer, period. What's up, tribe, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me again. If you are new here, my name is Mariah, and in today's video I am going to be talking about a product that I never in a million years would have ever thought that I would actually use, which is period proof underwear. So let's go ahead and get into it. First off, I want to give a special thanks to Lilova for actually sending me my own pair of period proof underwear. They reached out to me while I was actually pregnant and asked if I wanted to try their underwear out. And at the time I was like, well, I don't have a period, but the more and more I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute, for postpartum, I'm gonna want to actually have something to use that's not necessarily pads all the time. Obviously, when you're going through postpartum, especially after a vaginal delivery, you're not using tampons or anything like that. I don't use tampons anyway because I don't find them to be the most comfortable. I'll occasionally use them on like vacation and things of that nature, but for me, I mainly use pads. But the more and more I thought about it, I was like, you know what, I would like to try something different, because pads can even sometimes be a little bit irritable, rubbing up against your skin constantly, especially after you give birth. You do bleed, and there's no telling how long you necessarily bleed for. Every woman is completely different, so I do think that it's a nice option to have, especially if you either have longer periods or you have a longer period of postpartum bleeding. So Lelova actually offers quite a few styles. They offer thongs, hip huggers, the hipsters, high-waisted underwear, and of course the classic bikini. And all of their different styles hold a different amount. Some hold up to 2.5 tampons worth, others hold a half a tampons worth, so there are some that hold 2 pads worth. So really what's going to go into style preference is, of course, the comfort of what you would naturally wear underwear wise. Not everyone's a thong person, but the other consideration is going to be how much the underwear actually hold. So these are the ones that they sent me. These are the Mia hipsters, which hold about 2 tampons worth, 4 panty liners worth, or 1.5 pads worth. Now, I don't know where they came up with that measurement, because who wears a half a pad? But that's approximately how much these actually hold. Now, what that translates into for me personally, I actually tried these out on one of the heaviest days of bleeding, and that translated into 7 hours. 7 whole hours. I got through 7 hours wearing these before I had a leak. And that was without a pad. Yes, I typically wear pads, but I wanted to really put these to the test and see exactly how much they held. And for 7 hours straight, I went without a leak. And then even when I did wind up leaking after that 7-hour period of time, it was so minimal, like it wasn't bad at all. So I definitely was impressed by these. You may be also asking, okay, if you wore these for 7 hours, what about the smell? They do not emit a smell. I swear they somehow I don't know how they do it, but somehow the smell honestly was almost locked in here. I didn't smell anything. Even when washing the underwear out, I did not smell any odd odors. We all know when you wear a pad for too long, or you've been, next to somebody who, has had their situation going on and haven't properly cleaned themselves, there is a certain smell or aroma to them. These don't emit any type of smell. You can leave them sitting, like I said, for up to a week after you rinse them out. There is no smell. There's also no smell when you first take them off. There's also no smell when you wear them and you're going to the bathroom. So even though these are breathable, they do not emit any foul odors whatsoever. Another thing is, I know you guys can't touch them, but they're really, really soft. These are made out of organic cotton. I think they're 95% organic cotton, and there's even a little bit of lace in there as well. But the insides are a very, very soft material. So they are extremely, extremely comfortable. Now, if you got a C-section, you might not want to wear these because of the band up here. Maybe that's not going to be the most comfortable for you. But otherwise, postpartum wise, I would definitely recommend these. Now, clearly, I have a baby sitting on me right now. I have a newborn, and with newborns, you just don't have a lot of time to do things. You don't have a lot of time to shower or get yourself really together. So having at least a pair of these underwear is super convenient, because sometimes I'm in a rush, frankly. The baby is crying. I need to get him either changed or fed, or sometimes he just wants to be picked up. So I don't have the time to necessarily go from the bathroom to my bedroom to get underwear and then go back to my bathroom closet to get a pad or anything like that. It's way easier just to be able to simply grab these underwear and put them on. And then if I want to go ahead and add an additional pad to them so I can wear them pretty much throughout the entire day, then I'm able to do that. But oftentimes, like I said, you don't have a lot of time. I also found that these are a lot easier because clearly I baby wear, and when I baby wear, I still have to go to the bathroom at the end of the day, and I don't always want to put him down because it disturbs him. He gets super fussy, and then I'm pretty much rushing through going to the bathroom to try to hurry up back so I can calm him down, and it just really becomes a more chaotic situation than it needs to be. So these are also really, really convenient when you baby wear for hours on end. I can actually go into the bathroom and I'm able to utilize the bathroom without necessarily having to change a pad or anything like that. Also, if I'm not necessarily wearing these and I just decide to wear regular underwear and a pad and I wind up having a leak, it's a lot easier for me to just go ahead and throw these on than to, like I said, go through that whole process of grabbing underwear and then trying to deal with pad wings. It really overall just simplifies the period process, as well as being super good for the environment. You got to think about how many pads and tampons we use per year. We use a lot, and those materials ultimately are very harmful to the environment, the same as diapers. That's why we are transitioning into cloth diapering for him. So it's no different when it comes to our feminine products. A lot of them wind up in the ocean or wind up in landfills, and these underwear are definitely a sustainable solution for that. So one thing I will say is that these do run kind of small. I actually wear about a large in underwear typically. It depends on the cut, but I wear anywhere from a medium to a large. I got an extra large in these, and they were still, as far as the bikini line was concerned, a little bit snug, which of course affected comfortability to a certain extent. They were still comfortable, but I think they would have been even more comfortable had I went up to an extra large. So definitely keep that in mind if you want to try them out. Just go ahead and order a size up from what you normally wear, because they do have 4 different layers of like protection in here, which makes them a little bit more fitted. I don't know how else to really describe it, but when you have multiple layers inside one piece or one article of clothing, they're not as like stretchy as if it was just one piece of fabric. You also may be asking, how hygienic are these to wear? They're, I would say, more hygienic than your underwear are. Even if you wear just cotton underwear, I would say these are definitely more hygienic because they have an antimicrobial layer within them that fights both bacteria and odor. So they definitely thought about that. The fact of the matter is, as a woman, you're giving off a lot of secretions. If you're using this obviously for your period, you are bleeding, so you definitely want to be conscious of bacteria, especially just because this is going up against your vagina at the end of the day. You do not want to have to worry about this material holding on to bacteria even after you wash it. Speaking of washing, these are really easy to clean. All I do once I'm done wearing them is I will fill the sink up with a lot of cold water. I will dip them so that way they're drenched, and then I'll just continue to rinse them until the water runs clear. After that, I toss them in the laundry and then just wash them with my regular laundry. Now, you don't necessarily have to do that, but it's what I prefer to do. You could ultimately just throw them in your laundry or throw them in your washer and just let them soak in the washer. That's another way to go about it. You could wash these alone, but that would be very wasteful water-wise to only wash one pair of underwear for the sake of getting all of the blood out of them. But it's way easier just to pop these in the sink and rinse them until the water runs clear. Now, with that being said, the pre-washing process does take a little bit of time time, but that's highly dependent on how long you actually wear these for, and if you're wearing them alone. If you're wearing them alone, then it's going to take a little minute for you to rinse all of the blood out of them, but if you're wearing them with a liner or something like that, you probably can do a really quick rinse and that will be sufficient enough. I also can say that I love the material because I didn't have to worry about any type of staining. Most of my underwear are from like Victoria's Secret, or I'm trying to think of what other kind of underwear I have. I mainly have Victoria's Secret underwear. I really don't get my underwear from any other place, I don't think. And when I've leaked in those in the past, if I did not necessarily wash them out immediately, like throw them in the laundry within a day or so, some of them would have this weird like discoloration, and I'm talking about the black underwear. They would have a weird discoloration where it almost had like a bleaching effect to them. I would have little like streaks of like what looked like bleach marks essentially within my underwear, and that was literally from the blood staining those underwear. And like I said, we're not talking about light color underwear, we're talking about black underwear. But with these, I never had that problem. I've washed these quite a few times. They even made their way in the dryer once, which you are not supposed to do whatsoever. My husband put these in the dryer, but even that, they've stood up to being put in the dryer after being washed. And as you can see, there are no stains whatsoever on these. It did not have that same effect that it did with my other underwear. Another reason I'll say it's good to have at least one of these pairs of underwear on hand is because in case you run out of your feminine care products, if you run out of those and you're in the house and it's either late at night, a store is closed, or you simply just do not have the time to run out and get what you need, these could be a lifesaver to get you through that period of time. I'm pretty sure we all at some point have thought we had extra feminine care products, but have actually ran out and then we're struggling to figure out what we were going to do. Another thing I'd like to mention is that if your periods are unpredictable, you might want to carry a pair of these around with you, whether it's in your purse or keeping them in your car or just keeping them nearby in case you're going somewhere and you're suddenly surprised by your cycle. You at least have these at a minimum on hand just in case. And in the same breath, they are really, really great for overnight wear. I would say for me, I typically get the most leaks overnight. I know some of you are the exact same, and these did not leak overnight. I was able to wear them overnight and I didn't have any issues whatsoever. So after trying out these Lilova Period Proof Underwear, I am pretty convinced that I am going to just slowly transition into only using period proof underwear and skipping the tampons and skipping the pads, at least for the time period. I mean, we're all in a pandemic right now, but at least for the time period that I'm spending majority of my days at home anyway. Like I said, it'll make me feel a lot better about not putting so much toxic waste into the environment, and also they're just generally comfortable and they save me a lot of time. And as a mom, that's something that is extremely important to me. If I can spend just a couple of minutes of my day for some me time, whether that's having a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or just chilling out, versus worrying about, oh, I need to run and change a tampon or change a pad, I'm definitely going to take it. So a special, once again, thank you to Lelova for introducing me to just the general concept of period proof underwear. I never, like I said, would have ever thought to try these on my own, but I am really, really happy that I went ahead and tried them out because I think they are just going to be a true game changer for me. Overall, I would give these underwear a 10 out of 10. If I had to pick one con, it's just that you need to take a little bit of extra time out, maybe towards the end of the day, just to rinse the underwear out. That's like that's the only thing I can say about it, and that's not like a bad thing. It's just simply a trade-off. So I definitely recommend you guys at least checking out Lelova's selection of different underwear styles and giving them a try. Even if you just try one pair of underwear, I think you might come to find that you will enjoy them as much as I did. Well guys, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. You already know the drill. Give us a like, share us a ton, subscribe to join our tribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.